I have 4 o'clock. Let's call this meeting to order. Need a motion to approve the agenda.
Making a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, do we have any public comment today? Okay. JD, I guess it's time for our engineer update.
Good afternoon, JD King, Page County Engineer. Engineer update went out yesterday noon, Monday, and we are engaging in weather-dependent operations, rain and wind. So yesterday, all the crews are out looking, scouting the roads, looking for damage, debris, washouts. The excavator crew is working on beaver dams. When the weather turns fit, they're going to do some pipe work on 200th Street. And when it's drier, we'll go back to regular maintenance. I'm sure there'll be grass to mow and rock to haul, roads to blade. In the shop, the mechanic servicing the water truck, getting ready for blade school. They must use a water truck when they're working on the roads, training people to work on the roads. Single axle is going to be sent up to the alignment shop in Omaha. Talked about that last week a little bit. The cat's skid steer that's been heating for a long time is in Atlantic, and they believe they've figured out why this is. And yesterday, my superintendents both went up to the Mack dealer in Omaha and looked at the 2 truck tractors that were on the lot. We are getting a quote for one of those. Project development continues. I should know something about the Yorktown right away this week. The landowners aren't in the field. These would be the absentee landowners. And yesterday, contractor picked up a bid packet, and today the contractor picked up a bid packet for the annex parking lot. So whatever we had last Friday, we have 2 more as of today. Turn-ins Friday noon at the auditor's office. Questions about the update?
Yeah, on the where'd it go? The schooling. When is that blade school?
I think it's the first or the second week in June.
Are they going to do it the same place they did before?
No, we're going to go up to 230th Street, west of Page, west of M60, west of Page Center. There's a mile there.
Okay, so you'll let us know a little bit more about that.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
We are going to 410s on the 1st of June.
Okay.
Not really here. If you could, next item on the agenda is closure of 2 bridges. There's a map with 2 red pointers. D19 is at the top of the county, and L7 is a Kiwi in the center down below. Both these roads are dirt, and it's been these bridges have had weight limits on for years, and they finally reached the end of their useful life, and they're no longer safe to cross. We're going to close them. Recommend close. And that's resolution 21/2026, which should be in your packet.
Has that been communicated then to everybody around there that, or is anybody using those bridges today? None? Okay.
That blanket for, we're gonna put barricades in front of them and remove the plank and the jump spans on the D19 bridge.
Okay.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve resolution 2026?
Make a motion to approve resolution 21/2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Carried. Okay. And we have a utility permit.
We have 2 utility permits. And what I have first is the fiber from the, we're in the sub out east of town, east on 210th Street to the Taylor County line. Mid-am.
Okay. Could I have a motion to approve the Mid-American Energy fiber utility permit?
Make a motion to approve it.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
The next utility permit is Atchison Volt REC is boring electric underground from the north side of the road to the south side of the road to service bin site north of Coin. So
Make a motion.
producer taking it being safe.
What's that?
The ag producers being safe with underground wire instead of overhead hit bins with and all that. All their shit.
You're making a motion?
Made a motion. Yep. To
Okay.
approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, next we have Angie Dow, Page County Treasurer, to update us on the Shenandoah driver's license station.
Hello. The Iowa Department of Transportation has provided me a public notice regarding the driver's license service station in Shenandoah. So I'm just going to read that tonight before I post it on social media and on my website. So I'm going to read that to you. And then they also gave us some frontline talking points that I thought I would give you guys as well, how they want us to handle questions, specific questions. So the Page County Treasurer's Office has been notified by the Iowa Department of Transportation that driver's license issuance services at the Shenandoah satellite location will be discontinued effective June 24th, 2026. This location will close at the end of the day and will not reopen. This decision is part of a broader statewide effort to modernize services and align resources based on service usage and operational needs. The driver's license services will continue to be available on the Page County Courthouse in Clarinda Monday through Friday. In addition, many services are available online through the Iowa DOT. We understand this change may impact some residents and appreciate your understanding as we continue working to provide accessible and efficient service options. For more information on available services and locations, please visit iowadot.gov or contact the Page County Treasurer's Office. So I will.
That date was what, Angie?
June 24th, 2026. And they did, like I said, in conjunction with that public service announcement, they gave talking points, and that way we all are on the same page. Since it was the DOT's decision, they provided the answers that they want us to give. So I just thought I'd share that with you, as I anticipate you may get contacted as well as my staff.
I think it's best that we just give them your number and have them call you.
I agree.
Thank you.
Absolutely have them call us, but I
Yeah.
do think that you know, that way if they keep They're very simple answers.
Right.
They didn't go in,
Okay,
they didn't give any complicated, really, just simple answers of why, so.
well, it's gone for a long time. How long has it been over there?
Ever since the treasurers took over, I know, because
And I
it
remember
was,
that, but I don't.
even when it
remember
was
the
the
year.
state, the state had a site over there in the Armory, so it never really stopped. When did the treasurers take over? Was it like 95, 96?
It's a long time, because I remember the counties fought to take over
Right.
driver's license.
It was still the state when I got my permit, but there's that.
Well, it's done well, but, if they're closing, they're closing, so we've still got the courthouse.
I'm sorry.
No, anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Angie.
Thank you.
We appreciate the service that you've provided over there for all these years, so. Wait, okay, next we have Aaron Riddle, Chief Deputy, to talk about the Sheriff app.
Like you said, Chief Deputy here with the Sheriff's Office. I've got a resource that we have potentially available to the county that I can show you. I think it'd be best. Let me try to get my
Hold on.
let me try to get my phone connected up, and I'll actually show you up on the board what this looks like.
Okay.
But it's a resource that's available through a company called My Sheriff App, and we can put a bunch of resources available to the public so that they can make contact with the sheriff's office, and kind of takes everything that we offer and puts it into one place that they can go to look, and allows us to give push notifications to people and things like that. A way to engage with the community that we currently don't have anything that really does that.
Okay.
So I will attempt to get this working
Okay.
with Corey's help here. Oh, so the I don't know, the people who are watching on YouTube probably won't be able to see this, so this would be more for people who are here. Now everybody knows my passcode. All right, so you can see I've downloaded two sheriff's apps right here because they are customizable. None of them are the same. We can customize it to the resources that we would like to have available to the public. If we go here to the Hamilton County, I think there's 60 or so throughout the state that have this app already. And if we open that up, and of course it's going very slowly, just when you need to do a demo.
Of course.
This is just great advertising now. All right, let's see if there's a problem with that particular app. Over here to Mills County.
So you put your own emblem on there.
Yeah, you can customize everything all the way to the emblem. Yeah. What's that? Let's see if that may be able to. You're sharing the password with me right now. Well, something weird is happening. See if things change. All right. All right, there we go. So we've got, this is Mills County's app right now. So there is a section here, you can see it says Sheriff's Welcome. This is an area where he's just kind of posted something like a general, hey, welcome to the county, here's what we're about. And obviously we'd be able to customize that. But if you look across the screen there, you can submit a tip directly to the sheriff's office, you know, kind of report a crime. That next little icon is warrants. So that would be an active list of everybody in the county that has a warrant.
Well,
Which is, I mean, it's all public information, so that's all accessible to everybody, which we currently don't have any way of getting that information out to anybody right now. So I think that's an interesting feature that people would really, really like to have access to. Jail information. So this is just a resource, points people towards, you know, how to put money on somebody's books, how to, like, what are the visiting hours for the jail and all those kinds of things. We have an inmate search option available where everybody who's been booked and who we're currently holding that information is available. This next tab takes you directly to the sex offender registry, which it would tie directly into. There's also a direct tie into Iowa Vine Link, which is it keeps track of offenders all across the state, whether they're in prison or adjudicated. It can give you updates on protection orders and things like that. You can give general information regarding weapon permits. It ties directly into weather. So like the other night when the storms were going through Glenwood, this was giving, hey, tornado watch, tornado warning, all those things going through. So it gives you some functionality with that. It also gives the ability to say we had a road shut down or something like that. We would have the ability to push a notification out to every phone or every app saying, hey, this road is closed due to, you know, whatever the case may be. But just a more direct line of communication with the public. And I think that would be great. So it also can point you towards social media and all these other, whatever resources we feel like tying to it, we can kind of tie to it. And it's the best part of it is that the opioid money can pay for it, which is, I think, a great benefit to the county, because if we can point people towards those opioid resources that we have available within the county, and it really makes a big difference for, you know, getting those people in touch with the resources that they need. I have gotten a total for what this would cost. It's just under $12,000 for the first year. And then every year after that, it's about $7,000. And that pricing is good until August 2nd. There is an option if we wanted to purchase 3 years up front. It takes $1,000 off of it. So a little bit of a discount.
What was the per year, 7,000?
7. It's just a shade under 7. There is tying it into our record management system. There's a fee through another company so that they can access our booking photos and all those things. So that's about $500.
Somebody else maintains this,
Yes,
puts the information on.
we have control of it, but it is maintained by these people. We have a contact with them, and they make it customized how we want it, and they do all the work on it. So it doesn't require any IT work on our end.
And we're gonna have somebody dedicated to do that.
What's that?
We're gonna have somebody dedicated to do that.
No, it would be through the people at the app.
I know, but as far as turning in information
Yeah,
to get on there,
that would
to
be me.
do this.
that would be you.
Putting things in there. So most of it is automatic. Like it would update. You know, if somebody comes into the jail, our record management system pushes the information directly to the app. So it's not hands-on, it's all automated.
I assume weather would be similar. Some weather thing.
It's just connected directly to the National Weather Service, and that's how it's receiving its information is through the National Weather Service. Sex offender registry is the same. I think it may take you out of the app and into the sex offender registry in order to get that information.
So you said it was just under $12,000 and then $7,000 for every year. And you can do 3 years at a time.
Yes.
So that would be like 12,000 less 1,000. Is that what you said
Yeah, it would be 23,000. I think would be the
for
total
the 3 years?
to get 3 years right up front,
Okay.
and a one-time fee to tie into a record management system of $500. And I have talked to another sheriff who said, you know, he uses this, like he's got the business cards for his deputies, all have the information on this. He advertises it very hard, you know, a QR code that you can scan that, and it has all these resources. I think it'll free up some time with taking phone calls for information, just giving the same information over.
And tying this to the opioid, are you gonna have a dispenser with Narcan somewhere?
We would just tie it to our already existing stuff. We would talk,
Okay.
you know, talking to public health,
Okay.
talking to Wabansi and all those
Okay.
places, the hospitals.
So you can tie it to Wabansi and to the hospital,
we would-
both hospitals,
Point it over to
Okay.
all the resources that are currently available.
okay?
So let's say you get a tip, somebody puts a tip on there, so that's gonna come directly to you right away, and then you're gonna have to respond to that tip within an hour, 2 hours, 10 hours.
It would, so when it comes to tips, I think there's a little, a lot of tips aren't that
Right.
valuable. There would be a little judgment call as to how quickly things would come in. So all the tips would get looked at.
But there won't be any reward for a tip,
No,
like they have in Omaha.
no, we don't have that.
Okay,
And what would be, I guess, what would be the plan if, when the opioid money is not supporting this?
That would be a bridge that we would have to cross when we
Right.
get there. If we're seeing the value out of it, that'd be something that we would maybe try to work into our budget. And if it's something that, hey, we tried it and people aren't engaging with it, we'd reevaluate where we're at on it. But like I said, I talked to a sheriff of Hamilton County, and he said that he has a population very similar to ours. I think he has 6,000 downloads of that app. So
It's a free download for the civilians.
yes.
well, we don't have it on here to make a decision tonight, but we can put it on for next week.
Do you know how long they've been doing it? Or like how long this has been in service?
I
When
do not
they
know.
started?
They have thousands of sheriffs on the app, but I'm not sure.
So they're all over
They're-
the United States,
They are not. They're kind of regional in the
Okay.
Midwest.
but it looks like there's quite a few Iowa
Yes,
counties on.
yes. Ringgold, Mills, Decatur.
Adams.
Adams is in there.
It's like Adams has the attorney app.
Yes,
I can't figure this out.
I'm sure.
Adams can have all this stuff and we don't. Oh. Okay, so Mills. Montgomery doesn't have it yet.
Any other questions?
I don't have any questions.
I don't, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Aaron.
I
I
appreciate
appreciate it, and we'll put it on for next week's meeting. Okay, our next item is to discuss action of City of Essex abatement request. We received a request from the city clerk for the abatement of $70 taxes on a property recently acquired by the City of Essex. The address is 709 Burlington Avenue in Essex. It was acquired as a nuisance property and the trailer home was demolished for the community. So I have resolution 22-2026 to abate taxes on 709 Burlington Avenue in Essex.
Make a motion that we approve resolution 22-2026.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. So abated. Okay. Our next item is Jan Norris, carbon pipeline information.
Good afternoon. I'm Jen Norris from West Township in Montgomery County. Thank you for time to update you today on the pipeline project. On May 13th, Summit filed a notice of intent to withdraw certain segments with the Iowa Utilities Commission. At this point in time, Summit intends to remove 4 ethanol plants, including Green Plains in Shenandoah and Poet in Corning. As submitted, this would eliminate routes south of Crawford County, including Montgomery, Adams, Page, Fremont, Shelby, and Pottawatomie counties. A total of 200 miles in Iowa are projected to be removed, but a route of nearly 800 miles remains, all of it north of I-80. So for us, it appears there will be no CO2 pipeline project at this time. However, Summit's press release leaves all options open, saying they will continue to evaluate future expansion opportunities and additional ethanol facilities in future phases. I might point out that although the press release specifically states the project will travel west through Nebraska for Wyoming sequestration, no official filing with the IUC states so. Summit did not remove the trunk line crossing the Missouri River into South Dakota, and it is fighting appeals in North Dakota. Currently, the district court remanded the appeal of Iowa's conditional permit back to the IUC. Summit filed an amendment asking not to be required to declare where the final route or destination will be, nor if the CO2 will be sequestered or used for enhanced oil recovery. Summit also asked that permits in the Dakotas no longer be a condition of Iowa construction and has requested to consolidate all the dockets. So you can see why some parties are asking Summit to just start over. They should be required to reapply due to the significantly changing scope of the project. Without a route here, some think maybe landowners who signed easements made out like bandits. But remember, unless otherwise stated in the signed document, those easements can be forever. Summit could sell, assign, or transfer them to another CO2 pipeline project without consulting the landowner. Like in Nebraska, Tallgrass was able to move quickly on their project because of existing easements, some of which were 40 years old. Landowners are urged to seek a qualified legal opinion to fully understand how their easement may or may not be affected as this project evolves. In light of the district court ruling, Shelby County has recently repealed their setback ordinance. Citizens appreciated the efforts to fight for them, but understand it is out of their hands. Counties that deferred their ordinances until a ruling don't appear to have incurred any court expense. If it had gone the other way, those would be the only counties able to establish local control in creating a buffer between people and the pipeline. This pause in the project for counties no longer affected is an opportunity to reevaluate ordinances, get them in place without company threats, and incorporate the ruling of the courts. I have never asked counties to stop pipeline, only to act in the best interests of the people. Fortunately, at this time, it appears the immediate threat has been removed, but more projects are coming our way. We have wind and solar, and now Iowa is in the crosshairs for hydrogen drilling. In fact, a forced polluting bill was passed in the last days of session that would force non-consenting landowners to participate. And data centers appear to be popping up all across the United States. So it behooves our local officials to be proactive. There is an assumption by some that this request to remove routes by Summit has somehow taken the threat of eminent domain away. It has not. Only the IUC decides if a project like this is allowed to seize property. The legislature could make changes to the law. 2025 came close, but the governor vetoed the hard-fought bill. This year, Senate leadership refused to let it come to the floor, although bipartisan support for an amended version had enough votes to pass. So in summary, the landowners who have stuck together and been fighting to protect their property rights for the last 5 years are both elated and relieved to learn Summit Carbon Solutions is having to reduce their impact in Iowa. Currently, the project is years behind schedule, cannot begin construction, doesn't have permits to sequester, cannot use eminent domain in South Dakota, and their conditional Iowa permit is caught up in court. Things are not going well for Summit. So making this big change was likely a Hail Mary to try and salvage the $1 billion their investors have sunk into it. But landowners are cautious and recognize it could just be a strategy to cut out some of the loudest opposition, regroup, and come back to push harder. Owners of nearly 4,000 parcels in Iowa are still impacted by this project, with no property rights protections in place to shield them from private industry. Summit's CO2 pipeline project is far from over, but recent reduction of the overall route demonstrates the power of people standing together. Some wonder why I do this. Billionaires can hire teams of high-priced lawyers and paid lobbyists. I figured the least I can do is volunteer to stand up for my neighbors. Do you have any questions for me?
So the one question was, so the signed easements that they did get in Page County,
Mhm.
those aren't going to be returned. Those are, they can't get out of those. If the
It
project is
depends on
canceled.
it depends on what document they actually negotiated and signed.
Okay,
There was a template, generally there was a template that Summit started with, but it was all individual and confidential negotiations with each and every landowner. So those landowners that weren't savvy enough to understand that they could ask for things may not have the same easement that a neighbor does.
Okay.
And some of those, I've read a contract where it says they had a 5-year sunset on it if no construction had taken place. But if you have a sunset clause in your easement, you need to be very careful and ask for legal assistance to decide, has that been defined? What is construction? Is it construction on your land? Is it construction in your county? Is it construction anywhere in the state?
right.
You know, can they just lay a concrete pad in Woodbury County and say construction, and so you don't have a sunset clause anymore? There's just a lot of unknowns and a lot of different things. So people really need to get some legal consultation to understand fully.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Okay. Next item is board communication. You have a meeting tonight? Maybe two?
Maybe, yeah, maybe a meeting tonight.
Okay.
I was supposed to have a Board of Health meeting last night, and I didn't know it until Saturday, and then she said she had to cancel it, so it's getting rescheduled. I think June sometime.
Okay.
I got a SWPCO meeting next week. Thursday, maybe.
My DCAT meeting got canceled. We have a Wabansi meeting next week. We're calling Fremont County tomorrow to talk about Johnson Run.
Yeah.
See, we're all gonna call in separately, so see where that goes. And then I also have a juvenile detention meeting tomorrow at noon. I call into that one in Council Bluffs, so much easier than driving an hour and a half for a half an hour meeting, so. Bonsi next week. Anything, Brian? Nope. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else board communication that we need. Okay. All right. Discuss approved claims.
Make a motion, we approve claims.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And the meeting minutes from May 12th. Don't want to go backwards.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anything else that needs to be brought up? If not, our next item is adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4:35.